Ah, we're live. Yay. Hi there. Welcome once again, and I guess I should say live from my kitchen. It's Saturday night. Yay. I can only hope this turns out to be funnier than Saturday Night Live has been in years. And yes, I know the title of this video promised you that we will be seeing the pig head mold and the lamb mold. That is true. So for starters, here is the pig head mold. And here it is that Deep Hell Pal has been wanting to see again, the lamb mold. I've got just about all of the preparations ready except one. I've got to put some meat together. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing tonight. So let me see. Here it is. In one of these lodge. Oh yeah, I better show these lodge cans before I put food in them. These are both modern day Lodge 10-inch skillets here. One is the Walking Liberty pan, and the other is the Buffalo Nickel pan. So yeah, these are the two coin pans. Why the coin pans? Well, really, why not? Gives me an excuse to freshen them up. So I figured I might as well use it, especially since one of these pans has sausage. Yeah, I took the sausage out of the casing, so there's maybe very slightly less than a pound of sausage here. The other one will have ground beef. And again, just for the heck of it, I decided that, because we are doing these calzones here, one of them is going to be in a pig head mold. So, of course, we should have pork in that one. And so here's the sausage. The other one, on the other hand, does not have a pig head mold. It's a lamb mold. So for that one, we're doing ground beef. And yeah, I know. It's like, well, why don't I do lamb for the lamb head? A lamb calzone. Well, I don't have lamb on me right at the moment. And just as important, I'm not sure if the people I'm making these calzones for want a lamb calzone. I think they want something simple and traditional. So as a result, in this one, we are doing ground beef. And yeah, don't really have any reason for it other than I thought it would be cute. So it's going to take a few minutes to cook these things up. But all of the other prep work is done. I have been rising the dough for going on a little more than 2 hours. Whereas I've also prepared the pizza sauce. So I'm hoping that including the time it takes to cook this, get that out of there. Including the time it takes to cook all of this meat, I'm hoping the entire thing will be done in, hopefully less than an hour. Now, because this isn't Wednesday, I don't want to take up too much of your Saturday night. I want to do things on this Saturday night too. On the other hand, I want to do this tonight. I mean, after all, I'm entirely free to do these videos whenever I wanted. So if I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't be doing it. Anyway, hello everybody. Hello Cat Z and Rocket Caver and Beth Button and Chris McGee and Randy Duffy and Anthony. So yes, hello and thank you very much for joining on this Saturday night. I know a lot of folks do things on Saturday night. And as always, I am not asking anyone to interrupt their schedule for this. You can do this whenever you want. Which means if you're going to be watching the replay, that's fine. Just please comment on it because, that hopefully gets some more views on it. I've been mentioning lately how it seems like YouTube has really been cutting down on the views of my videos, except for the shorts. So, really not much I can do about that, other than encourage folks to, as they say, like, share, subscribe, and comment. I think commenting really helps to increase the views on that. So, but yes, I did take these sausages out of their casing, yet they seem to still be stuck together. Oh well, that's all right. And of course, as I mentioned, these are all going to go to calzones. So that's going to be interesting. I can only hope. Well, my biggest worry about how these calzones will turn out will be whether or not the crust sticks to the pan. So far, I don't think I have ever made a cast iron pizza that has stuck to the pan. So I'm not too worried about it, but I realize there is that possibility. Anyway, also the other thing is because it's a calzone, I only have the oven heated up to 400. Now it's got to be cooking a little slower than you would cook a pizza, which takes like about maybe 10 to 15 minutes in a 500 or 550 degree oven. But the main reason why, of course, is because, especially since the calzone is a stuffed pizza, I have to be sure that the inside is cooked, while at the same time not burning the outside. But that's also the reason why I'm pre-cooking this meat, especially the sausage. You know, you can't have undercooked sausage. Anyway, rocket paper lamb is very expensive anyway. Yeah, there is that too. Well, thank you very much about the lamb mold, Randy Duffy. My Saturday night is the same as yours. I cook. Well, that's not so bad. And yes, hello, Anthony, and well, my pleasure. Welcome to my kitchen. Where, as you can see, for the past year and a half, boy, it's been that long already, I have been enjoying the heck out of this gas stove. And then, more importantly, I'm doing my best to try to rotate through my collection here, which was really one of the big reasons why I even started this YouTube channel. Give me an excuse to use all of the different cast iron pieces in my collection. But yeah, that's good because it means, again, it's going to freshen up these particular lodge pans, which is always good. The few coins, well, actually they were both made for Cracker Barrel at first. The Buffalo Nickel skillet was made in 2014, that's right. It was made initially as part of Cracker Barrel's annual America series that they've been doing each year. In fact, the Buffalo Nickel skillet was the very first official one of their American Heritage series. When it sold out and was discontinued, like Cracker Barrel does every year, Lodge kept on producing the Buffalo Nickel skillet on its own. I believe it's even available today, in fact. And yeah, the Buffalo Nickel skillet is a very nice pan. You know, it has a nice design on it. I mean, if people don't own one or want to give it away as a gift, I mean, that's certainly a good reason to do it. On the other hand, 2 years ago, in 2022, Lodge made this beautiful, beautiful Walking Liberty half-dollar skillet for Cracker Barrel. And that one sold out, and unfortunately, it has not been reproduced. Which is a shame, because I think this is one of the most beautiful designs for a Lodge cast iron pan on the bottom that I think they've ever produced. Yeah, I really like it. All right. Now, the thing about ground beef, of course, is it makes a lot of liquid. And I've been chastised for draining the liquid. I just dropped a little piece. Draining the liquid when, as some say, I should just keep on cooking it until the liquid evaporates. Well, I don't want to take too long. Although, of course, it does take a while to thoroughly cook the sausage. So I'll just keep cooking until it seems like everything is done here. The sausage didn't break up very well. Not that it matters. Again, it's all going to go into a stuffed crust anyway. In fact, I don't even think all of the sausage can fit in one calzone. Especially since that pig head mold is not as wide as this skillet here. I believe the pig head mold is about 8 inches wide, I think. I've made enough pizza dough for 2 12-inch pizzas. And I'm hoping that should be enough to include a top and bottom crust for each of these calzones. So, even though I know calzones, well, I guess, yeah, you can call them calzones because they're going to be stuffed with pizza toppings and flavorings. But, you know, it's going to kind of be more like a hot pie because I'm going to put in a bottom crust put all the ingredients in and then put it on a top crust. Okay, what's wrong with the pot pie? And anyway, yes, as I said, I know you folks have been asking again and again for the lamb mold, so why not? And when we did pizza this past Wednesday, somebody commented using the pig head mold for a pizza, and both of those sounded like a cute idea. So again, why not? We're doing this to have some fun more than anything else, and to see if it works. So the peanut butter fudge in honor of Toni Morrison. Yes, we did K-Clock. Yeah, and the fudge actually turned out good too. I have it right now actually in the freezer. I'm going to be taking it to a mom and her kids in about an hour, in fact, when this live video is done. But yeah, the fudge thing I did, well, as I mentioned, in honor of Black History Month, because it's a nice thing to think about. And I realized as well, I've known Toni Morrison's name for quite a long time because her name regularly appears on lists of banned books, which is a subject I've had some interest in recently, as some folks may know. And considering that, I thought it might not be a good idea to look into Miss Morrison's food history. And I found out that she had co-written a children's book, a book for very young kids, very young children. And it is called Peanut Butter Fudge, which, hey, that sounds like a good thing to do. And I used it as an excuse to make peanut butter fudge today. What Miss Toni Morrison was really known for, however, was that she was actually quite a cook. She had a secret recipe for a carrot spice cake, that she apparently took the recipe to her grave with her, and that it was never published. A lot of people have done spice cakes and carrot cakes in her honor, and I do still have the rest of the month. Maybe I'll do a carrot cake for that. Of course, a carrot cake takes a lot more effort than this fudge cake did. Which is another reason why I wanted to do it this morning, because it's nice and quick and easy. I'm just psyched that it worked. I had already said that I was worried that the peanut butter would not solidify, but it did. So there we go. I also learned how to make peanut butter fudge. Anthony, meat masher, like a potato masher, but with 4 or 5 curved blades. Oh yeah, I know. I've seen those. I've been kind of tempted to get one. But something just keeps me from doing it. Maybe because it's really a unitasker. It's done for one thing only, and that's, well, as you can see, splitting up meat. And this ground beef has separated nicely. The sausages, maybe not so much, but as I said, that's not a problem because I'm just going to be stuffing it all into a calzone anyway. And yeah, I'm deliberately using a metal spatula, so I'm sure you folks can probably hear the scraping. But, yeah, I'm not worried about it. My kitchen, I can make as much noise as I want. And anyway, this also demonstrates that, yes, it's safe to use metal utensils in a cast iron pan. The worst that could happen is the seasoning may be scratched. And both of these, of course, are very greasy dishes, sausage and ground beef. So, if anything, it's going to add more seasoning to the pan. I'm betting it's almost done already at this point. In fact, I do believe, the liquid is actually evaporating in the ground beef. So, yeah. Score 1 for the critic who suggested I don't bring it. Alright, they have them at Dollar Tree if you want to try it without committing to paying $8 plus the one. Our fire hall made 350 quarts of firehouse chowder in 2 cast iron cauldrons. Wow, that sounds impressive. I guess you must be talking about one of the big cauldrons. What is firehouse chowder? Oh, yeah. And it was cooked over a wood fire. Nice. Is the lamb mold going to make an appearance tonight? Yes, it will. As soon as this meat is done cooking, which from the looks of it is going to be in just a couple of minutes, we will be done with the Lodge pans, and we will break out the lamb mold and the pig head mold. So it's not just a cameo appearance, I promise. This is exactly what I promised you that we would do. We will make these calzones in those molds. It's only that I had to prepare this first. I wanted to do this live because, hey, cast iron. I mean, why not? Okay, it's a beef and chicken soup that's so thick you can stand a spoon in it. Oh, that sounds nice. Everything sounds nice and rich. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we are probably at the point, I think. I have little doubt that this sausage is done because when I break a piece of it apart with this, with the spatula, I am not seeing any pink in it. So, also seeing some brown in it, which is good. There we go. So far, so good. I think I can turn off the heat. Let these things continue to simmer in the hot pan. This in the sink. And now it's time to change the menu. Looks so great. I almost closed the browser. Okay. Just so he could cook 2 separate meats in 2 separate pans. Yes, exactly. I wonder if baking them in the mold first might work. I'm betting it would, but again, I really want to try doing this fast, in under an hour. Largely because, again, I don't want to take up everybody's time. Nonetheless, okay, here we are. I guess I better start with this one because that's what you want to see. And that is the lamb mold. This is a Wagner, believed to be an unmarked Wagner lamb mold. In fact, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Because, obviously we want to try to get the design of the face. That means I'm actually going to have to put this thing upside down. I'm going to have to put the lower part here. And then, hopefully, I should be able to fit this over the top. Because I'm trying to figure out how to do this too. Nonetheless, pork in the front and hamburger in the rear. Yes, exactly. I was vegging my brain on shorts and saw that there was a live. Oh, yes, hello. The lamb mold will look so cute. Okay, actually, I do have one more thing to do before we break out these molds. And that is the dough. Okay, so, as I said, I've been riding on this pizza dough now for going on about 2.5 hours, I think, maybe 3. I didn't keep as close track of it as I could have or should have. Nonetheless, this should be enough dough for 2 12-inch pizzas, as I'd mentioned. And actually, okay. Which means, okay, now that I've done that, I'll put this back in the bowl because, I do have to break out the molds. Because, time to grease them. So let's start with the lamb mold here. And where did I put it back? I put it back. The extra virgin olive oil, which I could not find the other night, but then found. All right, that's how to do this. I don't think we need to use very much. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And might as well just use my fingers. Make it nice and fast. Yes, I've washed my hands, and I'm going to wash my hands again. And a little bit, especially down here, for the ears. Grease the pan. Essentially, we're greasing the pan But this is why, as I said, this is really going to be more like a pizza or calzone pot pie than a traditional calzone because of the shape. It'll still taste good. Anyway, that's one side. Okay, good. Not too much olive oil. That's good. And here comes the other side. A little bit. That should be enough. Okay, especially the ears. I wonder if this means when I make a lamb cake on Easter, it'll taste like pizza. No, it won't actually. A well-seasoned cast iron pan really does not impart the... Well, no, that's true. It may impart a tiny bit of flavor, but hardly enough to be noticed. Especially if you season it again. That's good. It's only dripping like a couple of drops or so. So that's the other side of the lamb mold, which means now we've got one more thing. And that is the pig head mold. Which, yes, it is used for what they call souse, head cheese. Which I suppose might make this a unitasker, if all it is a shaping mold for meat. But, as you can see, we are definitely using it for something else other than making head cheese. I've also made cornbread in this pan. I've not yet made a cake, but I certainly should. Besides, this thing has so many angles in it that... Yeah, again, my real question is it going to stick? And the answer is, I don't know. But all we can do is find out. All right. Might have overdone it on this. Yeah, just a bit. Anyway, there we go. Now, let us take this and, as I said, this is meant to be like a 12-inch pie. Actually, in fact, I think I will split it again. There we go. So that we'll have a bottom and a top. I hope I can get all this to work. Okay. My hope as well is that, it is also supposed to expand. You know, it does actually expand as the crust expands as it cooks. So that, hopefully, it should be able to take on the impression of, well, in this case, a pig face, or at least I hope so. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along. I don't know how well it's going to turn out. But we will find out, although I can see already there are holes, unfortunately. So I've got to be careful here. Yeah, I know. That's one of the things that pizza nerds, and yeah, there are plenty of pizza nerds, really, really hate, and that's holes in the crust. At this point, they would be screaming at me to just abandon this and rise a whole new crust, which I'm not going to do. But hopefully, I just need patience here, which I've said many times before. Patience is probably one of the most important ingredients in this thing. And in fact, like a good pizza crust, I'm going to let this rest for a few minutes before I put the sauce on. So I'm going to hold up here and break out the lamb mold. Now, this is the part with the face, so I'm going to make this the face down part. Once again, I'm not using all of it. I barely have any experience in stretching pizza dough. So don't ask me to toss it or anything like that. However, I can see I am going to have to stretch it out so that it'll fit. Well, then let's do it as best as we can. It means some here and some there. I don't know if the two halves will stick together as it bakes, as I hope it does. Because I am going to have to turn the whole thing upside down after it's finished to display the animal face. And I can say that about both of them, too. All right, kind of stretch this, kind of stretch this more into this direction. Not sure how I'm going to manage this. Maybe even, come on, kind of get a little bit more down here. Okay. That's why I'm letting the other one rest, because I know it, pizza dough, of course, springs back, but if you let it rest a few minutes, it's less likely to spring back. So maybe I'll try to get this out and then leave this alone for another few minutes. This is probably the hardest part, in fact, because after this, the rest is going to be a cinch. You just put in the pizza sauce and cheese and meat. And then the upper crust, and then we bake it. So I have no idea what will happen. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Okay, you should probably roll it and then put it in the pans. That would probably stretch it better. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. But you are probably right. But we've gone this far. Let's head back now to the pig mold. There we go. Letting it rest has helped a little bit. This is actually not looking too bad. I know there's still a couple of holes to patch up, which I will do as best as I can. As I said, I am positive, though, the crust will expand as it bakes. All right. Yeah, never saw this before. Neither have I. And I've never done this before. So I'm pleased to be trying something new. Again. I've said more than a few times, I love trying new things. And remember as well, you folks asked for it. You asked for the lamb mold. You asked for the pig head mold. Now, I'm not going to blame you folks if it fails. If it fails, well, then it fails. And besides, if it fails, what'll happen? It'll fall apart. Okay. Can still eat it. That's not so bad. And just where the real problem, though, is trying to get this without any holes. Somewhat of a nuisance, in fact. It's partly because of all of the angles underneath. All right, and actually, let me ask a question. You folks might want to think about this. What should go on first, the sauce or the cheese, or maybe even the meat? Because again, consider that when this is all done, I'm going to turn it upside down. So maybe I should put the meat on the bottom, and then the cheese, and then the sauce. Of course, then that'll soak through everything. So, I mean, I know that's how they do Chicago deep dish, but on the other hand, they don't turn a Chicago deep dish upside down when it's done. All right, let's put this aside, move back again to the lamb mold. Actually, this looks better than I thought. Yeah, look at this. It does look like it might work. I know, still holes. I'm working on it. There's a lot of dough down here. Okay. But this might actually work, crazy as it seems. So when you flip it, goes over the cheese and the meat. Yes. In which case then, meat on bottom, sauce second, and then the cheese. Okay. That doesn't sound like a bad plan. Unless anybody objects. It's not too late. Pull one back and Clico, I do about 1-to-1 cocoa butter. Oh, that's something else. Okay. All right. Can you just mix it all up? Well, I suppose I could. Yeah, for the pig head, I would put cheese first, and then the meat, then the sauce, and then in the back layer of the dough. So it's like a pizza with a topping stuffed pizza. Yes, that's just it. And I see what you're saying, folks. You're saying basically put the meat and the sauce and with the cheese in between. No. Yeah, that's right. Was that right? Yeah. Meat, sauce, cheese. Okay. Yeah, considering it's going to bake in this upside down position. So, all right. Still, this actually looks like it hasn't turned out too badly. Let's get a little look. I think that might work. Here's the pig head. Maybe not quite as successful. Still working on filling up these gaps. But that's why, as you say, you should put the meat on the bottom because, yeah, there will be spaces there too. Yeah, this might work now. So, well, I'd say no time like the present. So, as you say, first the meat. Okay, that means, especially since these pans are still how am I going to do this? I think maybe I need to. There we go. Let's dig out a trivet. Put it right about here. And let me see. The lamb mold is going to have the ground beef, which, by the way, seems to have absorbed most of the grease. Oh, okay. I know what I'll do. Duh. Just switch these around for now. And since I am doing these one at a time, I'll still find a way to burn myself. What a surprise. Okay. All right. Now, I might want to do this. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Ground beef. There's no shortage of ground beef. Hopefully, there might even be some extra. Okay, I would do a little cheese first and then the meat. So it's like glue and won't break through the dough. Oh, well, I've already laid down the meat, I'm afraid. Okay. On the other hand, I could probably put some cheese. Maybe the cheese should come next. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, then look at this. This is not looking so bad. Okay. So from here, yes, it is an ambitious experiment. Yeah, I know. maybe I'm not so smart. I will know if it's successful. I mean, if it's not a success, well, then I'm not so smart. All right, but we probably used maybe about 2/3 of a pound of meat here of this ground beef, so that's not so bad at all. I wonder if I could even put a little bit here and a little bit there. All right. So next, sauce on the bottom, top after flip with the other mold. Okay. But right now, question comes is, what next? Sauce or cheese? I think, hey, what is stromboli? Isn't it just a calzone? Yeah, in a way it is. I would agree with that. I would probably want to do the sauce now. And then put the cheese on top. Okay. Can't be bad. Looks like a meat pie to me. Okay. Well, here's the sauce. Yeah, I always make my own sauce because it's so easy. All right, I would just do cheese and then sauce. Geez, that mold holds a lot. Well, it looks like a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so somebody else wants cheese. Sauce so that it's not separate from the meat by the cheese. All right, it's a toss-up. You know, looking at this, I think I'm going to go the sauce route. Yeah, because all I'm doing is simply, as you can see, spreading on sauce. That's not as bad as I feared. I was kind of worried that the sauce would soak into the crust, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. That's not so bad. That looks pretty good, actually. Almost like a meatloaf. Which means, finally, cheese. I have to admit, it looks nice. We'll know, of course, when it's all done. Cheese may act like a binder and hold all the meat together when it's unmolded. Well, we can only hope. But that doesn't look so bad, if you ask me. I think before I put the top on, I think we better do the next one. I have to be quick either way. We can't take very long. So that means, oh, this is cooling off already. Good. That means next sausage, and then let's move this out of the way safely. Now comes, I just dropped my spoon all over the place. God damn, something always happens. Ugh. God damn it. Sauce stain all over the floor and the counter. Ugh. Pain in the butt. Couldn't have done this one better if I tried. Or worse, I should say. All right. Now it's all wet. It's like I spilled a whole spoonful of sauce. Well, it could be worse. At least there's no carpet here in the kitchen. Right. Okay, back to business. Here comes the lamb mold. No, this isn't the lamb mold. This is the pig head mold. Okay, since that seemed so successful, let's do it again. And this is going to be even easier because it's just a circular space. It's also smaller, I think, in volume than the lamb mold. One more piece. There we go. Maybe one piece here. And one piece here. There's the pig head, which means the sauce That should probably be enough, in fact. I don't want too much. Finally, more cheese. All right. And again, if you want to see the top sides of these animal molds, just look at the thumbnail video of this picture. Thumbnail picture of this video. There we go. There's the cheese. Which means now comes the last step. The top cover. Well, I mean, this part's going to be relatively easy. This dough is holding up nicely. Doesn't seem to be splitting. And bam, there's one. Yeah, I'm not doing the whole thing, largely because this is my first attempt and I had no idea how this is going to turn out. But that doesn't look so bad. Okay. Of course, this was the easy one, nice and circular. Okay, which means now, move this out of the way. Time again for the lamb mold, everybody's favorite. Here we go. Figure out how to do this. You know what? Maybe I might even split it twice. Put some up here and some down there. Two 12-inch pizzas. Now I'm actually wondering if I should have made more dough. But let's do what we can. There we go. Kind of crimp the ears together and the top. As I said, my hope is that this bread, this crust will expand as it bakes. I hope. Now for the rest of it. Well, let's do this right. I hope I have enough dough left. Don't panic. Do not panic. There's no need to panic. Because this dough is holding together. Let's see if we can stretch it out. I think I should have used more dough though. But we can make it work. Stretch. It's stretching. It's stretching. It's not breaking. Concerned about this little bit of sauce here, though. Kind of crimp these two pieces together. Poke this down. Here's a towel here. Poke this down. Stretch. Stretch. You know what? Whoops. It broke. It broke. That's what I get for saying, you know what? Okay, let's try dabbing some of this oil off the top. And this, again, is why I'm baking this at 400 degrees as opposed to 500 or 550. I don't want it to go too fast. It doesn't look like, I'm not so sure that this top crust is going to work. Don't panic. Okay, let me think. One, here's a wee piece of dough from elsewhere. Patch this up. There's another little piece of dough. Patch that up. Actually, there's more dough down here at the back than you might think, that I might think. And patch this up. Look at that. Might be working. Wonder if I can even salvage a little piece of dough from the pig head mold and help to reinforce this a little more. Because there's a fair amount of dough at the top of the pig head mold here. All right. Pal, all for you tonight. Yes, exactly. Well, what do you think? What do you think, folks? As you can see, it's got little bandages here, but okay, you can probably pinch from the ears. Yeah, you're right. But, yeah, well, there it is. There's one. Where did my phone go? Where did my phone go? It's over here. I should really take a picture. I shouldn't take much longer, of course, because we still have to bake this thing. But close that. Okay. There's one. And now comes number two. Not even gonna do that. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get these things into the oven. And here's another question. Is it gonna fit? Because I have the large pizza pan preheating in the oven down here. Actually, shouldn't even keep the oven open too long. All right, let's get I don't need my gloves yet. These things are, heck with it. Why start talking about it when let's just try doing it? Here's one. Careful. So hot. Right, there's one. And now comes number two. The pig head. And it fits. It fits. It fits. It fits. Haha. Yes. Oh. Okay. Still trying to get relaxed around the group in this chat. Well, I realized I was a little nervous as well, but it's hard to do when you have no cast iron, when you do not have cast iron. Well, all I can suggest, Patricia, is get yourself a cast iron pan. Even one, if you like. I mean, obviously you are welcome here because, you know, you have, of course, been a member of this group now for some time. But we had a lamb on the farm. Her name was Lego. Okay, I did a cake in it. I did a cake in the lamb? Yes, I did do a cake in the lamb mold. Duh, that's what it's for. We're just regular folk. Yes, exactly. Okay, but there we go. At 400 degrees, well, I'm thinking this would probably take, what would you say, 20 to 30 minutes maybe to bake. So yeah, it is going to take longer than an hour, but not much longer. Okay, all right. Well, obviously, it will be done when it looks done. That's the best I could say. Let's take a look at some cast iron, folks. Here is the rest of the sausage. As you can see, I used probably about 1/2 to maybe 3/4 of a pound of sausage. And here is, this one's hot. Ow. Must have absorbed some heat from the oven. And here is, again, maybe about 2/3 of a pound of ground beef. And since I'm going to have to use these things, might as well just mix them together. No reason not to. That way I can put them in a container and maybe, I don't know, throw them into a dish for breakfast. You know, like an omelet or something. Here's the sound of scraping cast iron. All right. Okay, but there we go. Now, hello, Louis J as well. Yes, welcome to our cast iron family, Patricia. It's like starting a new school, and you are the new kid. But then we welcome and love our cast iron family, and so chill, relax, and join in. Yes, exactly. Extra meat could be for pasta. We could do that. But yes, exactly. I mean, this is just cooking. You know, it's not politics. It's not religion. Although for some cast iron people, it sure seems to be. Nobody here, though. And yeah, I have made my fair share of mistakes in these live videos, as anybody here would be have no problem pointing out. So nothing to worry about. We are more than happy to give whatever advice we can. Perhaps you can get a larger cast iron pan at Dollar General. Yeah, that's true. Those Dollar General cast iron pans, they go for about $17. Whereas a 10-inch cast iron skillet these days at Wally World is going for about $20. So, or if you do the flea market route, there is a fair possibility that you could find yourself a nice, decent-sized cast iron pan for a lot less than $20. Might have to clean it up, though. So, yes, I would indeed say that for somebody's very first cast iron pan, this would probably be the best thing to get, the 10-inch large cast iron skillet. $20 at Wally World, and remember that $20 investment is almost guaranteed to last you the rest of your life because it's almost impossible, I say almost, to damage a cast iron pan. Probably the most likely way you would end up damaging your pan is if you drop it on the floor and then the handle might break off. It's also possible to warp a cast iron pan by using it at very, very high heat for a long period of time. I did that when I was first starting out. But other than that, as I said, really, there's very little to be afraid of when it comes to cast iron. I mean, again, the worst that could happen is that you might scratch the seasoning, or maybe it might develop a little rust, which can easily be cleaned off. But there's nothing wrong with using metal utensils on cast iron unless you don't like the sound. So, yeah, there are folks who insist on babying their cast iron. You know, they only use wood or utensils and other things like that. And everybody is free to cook the way they want to cook. But, again, this thing here is going to last the rest of your life unless, as I said, you drop it and break it. So, no need to worry. You're not going to damage the pan. More likely would be burning the food or maybe scratching the seasoning. So, okay, I need $10, but the cast iron at Family Dollar store. Warren Dew, easy weapon for intruders. Yeah, that's a running joke as well. Louis J, how did the cookie taste? I have no doubt at all that cookie tasted as good as it looked. Definitely the first cast iron to get for the first time is a large 10-inch, exactly. We've been tardy all day. Detention is where they're going to put us. Yes, I use a fish spatula in my cast iron. Yeah, that is good for using. Yes. Where did you get the pig head mold? I scored it on eBay. It was a rare, good cast iron score on eBay, I think, because if I remember right, I paid about $30 for it plus shipping. And if you look on eBay, those cast iron pig head molds are almost always there on eBay. They're really not that hard to find, but they're almost always being sold at ridiculous prices on eBay. You know, we're talking anywhere from $75, $100, and more just for that silly cast iron pig head mold, which I would not want to pay that price. I managed to score mine for $30 because it had been completely painted over. So I dropped it in the lye tank for, I don't know, a couple of months, I think. And that completely took care of the paint. And so I was able to completely get rid of all the paint, and season it, and away it goes. And yes, I did test it for lead. So yeah, that's where I got my pig head mold. As I mentioned, these particular cast iron pans here, again, these are ones, damn it, I keep leaving it there and it keeps getting hot. Okay. These particular ones are part of Cracker Barrel's series, as I mentioned. This one is the Buffalo Nickel skillet, which is still available in some places, if I understand right. And that's the type of thing, these cast iron pans that have the really fancy designs on the bottom, they're cast iron pans, and you can use them just like any other pan. About the only good thing about the design on the bottom is the collector's value or sentimental value. That is it. Really, of course, it also is useful to large cast iron, getting people to buy them, especially people who are essentially buying the same cast iron pan again and again and again, because I gotta collect them all. And no, I'm not going to do that. If I tried doing that, I'd have at least 50 large 10-inch cast iron pans, and I'm not that obsessive. I have 15 number 8 size cast iron pans, but I'm swearing to myself, no more. So, okay, pig head is around 130 on Etsy and eBay. Yes, exactly. Is that a gas stove? Yes, it is. When I moved into my new home, which is, I suppose it's still new. When I moved into my new home a year and a half ago, I was so thrilled to have my very first gas stove after spending more than a decade cooking on electric. And yeah, I love it. The gas stove really was an important part of my choice of where I was going to be living here. That plus, of course, how much I'd end up paying monthly. But nonetheless, I am definitely very happy to be using a gas stove. He's gonna say, Dubs, I'm on a trolley now. He's the kid at fair. They bring to a ride. Nothing beats gas for cooking. I'll die on that hill. Gas stoves are my favorite. Let me see. At this point, here comes the roller coaster ride again, folks. At this point, it looks like the pizza dough is expanding. It looks like we're getting some drippings here from the lamb mold, unfortunately. The pig head mold looks okay. This thing's going to drip over, I can tell. I can see there's a little bit of browning, just a little bit occurring. Maybe I'm debating, maybe I should turn it up to 425. Yeah, as long as we can be sure the inside is completely cooked. But then again, I did pre-cook the meat. So I think I will do that. I'm going to turn this up now to 425. And we will go from there. Louis J, as I said the same, and here I am at 15, 10 and a quarter inch number 8 large skillets. And the new one is on its way. It's the naked and oiled skillet from Lodge. Oh yeah, I saw that one. My buddy loves the Yellowstone series of large skillets. We are going to make pizza in the BSNR number 14 tomorrow. Excellent, Rocket Caver. You have got what I think is the world's greatest pizza pan. You're going to love it. But yes, that's what it is with those. Lodge actually has really been catering to the collector's market for the past several years, and I'd say they probably made a killing on it too. Because they've learned there is a collector's market. That's why they seem to be doing a new 10-inch skillet every week or so, just about. I have several of them. I'm determined not to get everyone in existence because that's impossible. But I'm also doing my best as well to rotate through all of the ones that I have, as you can see, which is why I specifically chose these 2 coin skillets, the Buffalo Nickel and the Liberty Half Dollar skillets to make these meats tonight, so that I'll be able to freshen them up. Then the next time I cook, I'll choose something else. Maybe I'll choose my Red Mountain BSR. Ooh, I'm starting to smell it. Starting to smell the calzones. And yeah, the crust is definitely puffing up. I will say that. Not entirely sure still how well this is going to turn out. When I put it on a plate, I can see there is going to be grease all over the place. especially from the lamb mold. Take a look. There is no question that there's going to be a lot of grease in this. Well, nonetheless, this was an experiment anyway, and besides, we're still going to be able to eat it regardless. The pig head, I'm pretty sure there will be grease there too. It's only that the pig head seems to be capturing or containing the grease better. All right, there we go. Last time, I think. The lamb mold is... Oh yeah, I'm hearing it hissing, so that thing's definitely dripping over. Great. Well, just means I'll have to clean the oven again. The lamb mold is... I don't get what that says, Louis J. I don't recognize that. Collecting is okay, but the best way to cook with cast iron is to pick a favorite and use it constantly, like grandma. Yes, exactly. So I bet that pig head would make a cool looking berry pie. It probably would. Trust the lamb mold. It has ancient knowledge. Well, yeah. My guess is that lamb mold probably dates from the mid 20th centuries. We're talking the 50s or the 60s. You know, the time when Wagner was making those unmarked cast iron pans. If I remember right, the eBay listing where I managed to score the lamb mold said that it had been used by a bakery, in fact, since about the 1960s or so. They probably bought it brand new then. So in that case, I could say, I don't know about ancient, but that thing has at least 60 years of experience. And I'm glad to be adding on to it. Okay, does your oven have self-cleaning? Mine does. Mine does not. I don't have any options for self-cleaning, I'm afraid. So that means I am just going to have to do this the hard way, which I've already done several times because I've done a great job dirtying up my oven with all this cooking. And that means break out the easy off. Well, if I have to, I have to. It's my choice for getting a gas stove. Okay, I see smoke. I hope not. Let me take a close look. If you see smoke, it would have to be coming from inside the oven, which is certainly possible because, yeah, this stuff is definitely dripping over now. So there might very well be some smoke. Steam, maybe. And either one is certainly possible. Other than that, it's really just a question of waiting. I was about to say, the thought came to mind, maybe I should have done an egg wash. But then I realized that's going to be the underside. I'm going to flip this thing over. Furthermore, I did grease those pans with olive oil, or extra virgin olive oil, before I put the crust on. So that should certainly give some browning to the crust. Did he set a timer? I did not. We are currently running at about 15 minutes, though, because I put it in the oven at just about 10 minutes of 9. 10 minutes of 9, yeah, that's right. So we're talking 8:50, or maybe 8:48 or 8:49 at the most. So we are running on about 15 minutes. And we're only doing this now at 425. So I would say maybe about another 10 minutes or so. I hope. Yeah, I mean, although I am glad I pre-cooked the meat, because really, I mean, in that case, all we're really doing is just heating everything up. I mean, we are cooking the pizza sauce, yes, and melting the cheese, but that doesn't take long, especially with the way that grease is bubbling up. So, all right. One thing I should do is start cleaning up my mess, in fact, so that I'll be able to lay those things out. That would mean, especially since this tray is going to be so dirty. You know what? Duh. I have this thing resting on the large pizza pan. I could, in theory, just take the whole large pizza pan out and lay it out here. No, that's starting to sound like a plan. All right, so let's move this to the side. Oh, by the way, here is the other half of the lamb mold. I was going to put this over the top, and then I completely forgot. Maybe well, it's too late now, but, you know, maybe I should have done that. It would have completely contained the grease, maybe. Well, there's always next time. All right. Well, what can I say? That means we will have to try this again, and then we'll see. I don't clean the oven. I call the crud seasoning. Calzones are clearing out leftovers. Yes. Hello, Dorothy Clay Gardener. Nice to see you here. The pinched fingers are the chef's kiss. Oh, I get it. Perfect, awesome. Well, I can only hope. Yeah. Grease goes where it will. There is that. The grease would have sneaked between the pieces. You're probably right. But again, I'm seeing brown spots. In fact, more brown spots on the lamb mold than on the pig head. However, I will say, if nothing else, the dough has definitely expanded. So, assuming it comes out without sticking, I'm not too worried about the underside of this of these things being brown. So that's a good sign, at least. Okay. All right, then the next thing I should do now is move our venue again so that we will be ready for when these things come out of the oven. Except I've got this cord here, okay? I'm just gonna have to move. Yeah, as you can see, that's how I do it. I have a rolling table here. Excuse me, here we go. Whoosh. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't make anybody too dizzy. It's just this cord is all tangled up now. There we go. There's that view. All right, that's how we're going to do it, I guess. Okay, move this over a little bit. There. Haha. Likewise with the light. Oh yeah, I can definitely smell it, that's for sure. I think the pig pie is thinner. I might finish before the lamb. Not much, but slightly thinner. Well, there is that. I'm betting that, we may be approaching the time. Because, yeah, that lamb is definitely browning, so... And I'm even seeing browning now on the pig mold. I'm thinking I should probably not risk it anymore. And let's do it. All right, that means I had better break out my heavy gloves. Because, fool that I am, I'm going to try lifting out the whole large pizza pan. And I hope I don't spill everything all over the place. All right. That might be easier. Which means I get to turn off the oven now. Yeah, nice thing about the large pizza pan, though, is it has handles. Let's do this right up. There we go. I got it. Come on. Close the oven door. Holy cow, this is starting to burn my... Shit! Oh, almost didn't make it. Oh, all right. Okay. Don't do that again. But, all right. Yes, exactly. I almost had a major accident. But, as it stands right now, well, this crust is nice and hard. So, well, managed to spill some of that hot grease too, but, woof. Yeah, well, that's okay, Warren Ukraine. You can see the results afterwards too. All right, before I do anything else, I had better, I think I should have just taken these things out separately. But, nonetheless, managed to do it. So let's get a couple of photos here. One of the lamb mold, and one of the pig head mold. The real fun part is going to be flipping this thing. especially since these things are so freaking hot. All right, man, I can't believe well, fortunately, I almost didn't make it. Okay. But there we go. How am I going to do this now? I guess I should look for, well, here's one of these cheap Walmart pizza plates. Maybe I will put one of these on each. Again, I'm making this up as I go along. Actually, I'm wrong. It's a Dollar Tree pizza plate. You know, these things are absolutely worthless for making pizza, but they make pretty good trays. So I definitely have a few of them. All right, let's get out my, okay, I'm not going to be that stupid again. Let me lift these things individually. What a concept. There's one. I'll put this over on a trivet. There we go. Put this large pizza pan away. Yeah. That is not something I want to do again. And how am I going to do this now? You know what? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'll put these back on the trivet here and the trivet here, so that way we'll be able to try flipping them. All right, Rick D, gonna have a field day. Yeah, this is the type of video I think that's gonna show up elsewhere. You know, the kind that shows fail videos, fail army or something. Well, all right. I'll try the easy one first. I'll try the pig head mold. That means, where did I just break out that knife? Here it is. Now, essentially, we're going to treat this the way we treat cornbread. And that is, I'm going to try loosening it with a knife first. You know, I think it might work. It might work. Well, no time like the present. Either it's going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't work, well, there's always next time. But, all right. Now, how am I going to lift this thing? There's another thing I didn't consider. How am I going to lift it? Also, I think you want the view. In fact, I think I can even move this down a little bit for you folks. There we go. It's a little better. Now I get to move the lamb mold out of the way. Yeah, I'm betting people are probably going to be reposting the part where I almost dropped it. Oh, come on. What do we do now, especially since this thing is still so hot? Can't even seem to have patience. That's what I need to do, as I've said enough times. Patience, patience. Let's try the other glove. Good grief. If it's not one thing, it's another. Okay. Surprised this thing is so flat. There we go. That's something. What happens now, though? It's sticking. It's sticking. All right. Don't panic. see what I'm gonna do. Try loosening it a little more. Yeah. Keep trying, keep trying. This thing's gonna go all over the place, I'll bet. Shall we try again? I did this way. Oh, uh-oh. Split in half. Oh. Oh, well. Well, here's a pizza, sort of. Okay. So this is sort of a fail, unfortunately. Oh, well. Don't panic. Keep working on it. It may not be done yet. This and that smells nice, at least. I think it might be all of these corners. Careful. You know what? Oh, there's one part here that's definitely stuck. Yeah, it's stuck. There's almost no question about it. I can try again. Flip it one more time. See what happens. Yep, look at that. It completely came apart. Oh, well. You can still see the nose, though. But regrettably, it is definitely stuck. All right. Well, the lamb mold might still yet be a success. We don't know yet. All right. Stuck on the snout. Yes, exactly. This is when you drizzle garlic olive oil over the top. Yeah. It kind of resembles a pig. Yes, I won't deny that. I mean, what can I do? Should I throw a temper tantrum? I mean, there's no point. This whole thing was an experiment anyway. So don't do it again. Yeah, or try to figure something else out. However, we're not done yet. Whoops, sorry about that. Let's put this thing to the side. And because now it's time for what everybody's been waiting for. The lamb mold. All right. Let's see how this looks. This, all we can do is see whether we have the same result or not. All right, here we go. Are we going to be 0 for 2 or 1 and 1? The answer is, looks like it's going to be easier to lift at least. The answer is, oh, no, it's stuck. Interestingly enough, the head didn't. But it's stuck. Oh, well. All right, so, yeah, here's the lamb mold. I regret to say this has not been successful. The experiment was not successful. Oh, well. Maybe I should at least take a picture of this lamb mold here. Mildly amusing. There we go. Right about here. Still, I've no doubt, again, it will taste well. And, as I said, if nothing else, the face actually worked. Let's get a close look at that face. There we go. Okay, yeah, here, let me give you a close look at the face as well, folks. Here is the face. Face of the lamb mold. But like I said, this whole thing was an experiment just to have fun. I'm definitely, going to take the blame for, everything that did not work. Which means, gosh darn it, I'm just going to have to throw all this together in a big bowl or something, and we'll just have to eat it that way. Oh, well. Will not turn it away from my plate. Yes, exactly. I bet it's the taste that matters. Exactly. Successful because you can eat it. Yes. That is my mantra that I've said many times. In cooking, there are a few disasters and many learning experiences. Fortunately, you can eat the learning experiences. This would have been a disaster if this thing was completely burned and would not and inedible. And that's not the case. Like you said, we can still eat this. So, despite the fact I did not get a perfect calzone, or whatever you call this thing, we'll still be able to eat it. That's the most important thing. And here's the part from the pig head. Cleaning this up is going to be a fun job. That's the other thing about learning experiences. But, oh well. This was fun anyway. Okay. All right, now that we've said all that, yes, exactly. Yeah, I know. Thank you for trying this. that being very charitable, but thank you so much. The dough is perfectly cooked. Yeah, I can definitely say that. Yes, this dough is not undercooked. I'm gonna have a little piece of this dough right now. The dough is nice and fluffy and not undercooked. So in that respect, yes. As I said, this is a learning experience. All right. But no point in saying that again and again. Okay. I oiled them a lot. Yes, I did. Yeah, maybe better next time. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. If nothing else, though, as I said, I just tried it to see what would happen. Well, now we know what happened. Okay, I'll stop making excuses now because we're getting late, folks. And I can only thank everybody still, even so, for coming by and watching. And feel free to watch the replay. I'm not going to delete this from my YouTube channel. I will stand behind it. I mean, despite all the problems, as I said, this was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm glad I did it just to find out what would happen. So, thank you very much, everybody. And besides, now we will return to our regularly scheduled YouTube channel, where next Wednesday is going to be the first Q&A session of the month, like we always do. And in addition to this, I have the fudge that I can make a nice cooking video from. So yeah, let's all just relax now. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, folks. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for taking the time to come by tonight. Please feel free to comment and be honest with your comments. I mean, feel free to be snarky because every bit of it is deserved, And so, better luck next time. So thank you again. Thank you for everybody. Yeah, well, I know, William Hurt. Thank you very much for that. But yes, let's just go on and we'll have ourselves a good evening. I better put the cap on this olive oil before I spill it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking your time for watching tonight. And yeah, thank you, KDG and Bell's Black Cats Rules and Deep Hell Pal. You got to see your lamb mold at least. And Louis J. Caster and Cooking and Clico. Yeah, at least I did have some fun this Saturday night. I can't deny that either. What the hell? Okay, I'm not even going to say that, but thank you so much. I think that looked like Louis J. Thank you so much for the donation, which I'm not asking for. Yeah, stay safe and healthy, everyone. Absolutely there. So, yeah, have a good evening, folks, and I will see you all later on YouTube. Have a good night.